Hi cuties. Okay, so I am sitting here at my desk. I was just planning content for the next month on like blog posts and which videos I'm gonna do. And I realized, I think I've said a few times about how I was going to talk about at-home extension care maintenance. I usually send home all of my clients with this sheet. Hi Jade, miss you girl. With this sheet of like do's and don'ts basically with hair extension care. But I don't know if everyone's got it or if any of you who follow me have extensions and like, you know, even like not my clients, just people who follow me. These are just kind of general good idea tips. So I'm gonna read through them. I have it pulled up here on my laptop, and so I'm just gonna kind of give you guys some tips. So the first section is like shampooing and showering. One of the biggest tips I can give you guys to prevent tangling when you shower is to brush it before you get in the shower. Brush your hair, like literally hold it and brush through and work your way up. Oh, Britt, I miss you so much. Brush through it and work your way up before you wash it. So when you get in the shower, when you shampoo and condition, it helps take some of the tangles out and doesn't give all of the, I guess, pressure on the conditioner to smooth it out. So honestly, you guys, that's like the number one tip. It's such a game changer. Brush your hair before you get in the shower. Next tip, shampoo your hair at least every 3 to 4 days. This is a huge one because I think so many people try to go as long as they possibly can without washing it, which can be a good thing because obviously like shampooing and heat styling can cause a little bit of damage, but also so can going too long. So not washing it every I say honestly guys, 4 days is like max. Just because the number one reason is there's so much product buildup. Your scalp gets like kind of clogged from all the products and the oils and the dirt and everything. It needs to be cleaned. And your extensions get brittle from all of the alcohol and products and things like that. And the biggest thing is if you're using like texture sprays or hair sprays or anything like that, and then you go over it with heat again, you're baking that product into your hair, which causes damage over time. So definitely try to go like 4 days max, I say, for multiple reasons that I just named. So there's another tip. Be sure to rinse all the product out and also in between the wefts. So I'm actually going to do a video. One of my good friends, Chrissy Hairco, I don't know if you guys follow her. She's the funniest girl ever. She works for Michaela Barisi. She's one of our MBR people. She did a live video a little while ago on how she washes her hair, and it was like the funniest thing I've ever seen. So basically, I want to do the same thing because it was hilarious. She was like in her swimsuit in the shower, like showing people how she washes it, and I'm like, I think it's huge because so many new clients of mine come to me and they're like, how do I wash my extensions? So I think that's huge. So I'm going to show you guys how to wash it. But what I do basically is I kind of take my hands like this ET phone home type of situation, and I go like this and I go in between my left. So I have 2 rows and I just like take my fingertips. I never use my fingernails because you don't ever want to scratch or cause like abrasiveness because that can pull hair out and do some things. So just use your fingertips and I just kind of take shampoo and like literally go in between my wefts. So that's a big tip for washing. For conditioner, begin applying at mid-lengths to ends and whatever is left over work up towards your scalp. I have super fine hair. I never, ever put conditioner on my scalp just because your scalp has natural oils, so you don't need to put conditioner up there. I honestly say like work from like here down. So I like take my hair and I kind of pull it forward and put the conditioner and work my way all the way. So I start at the bottom and work my way up. But I put conditioner on like my like front pieces a little bit, and sometimes I'll maybe just like go on the top of my hair if it's like all rinsed back, but I never like take it and like rub it into my scalp because it just doesn't need it. It makes it way down and get greasier faster. So that's kind of how I work my way up. Always follow up with leave-in conditioner spray, heat protectant, and oil after shampooing. Those are what I'm always talking about with products with you guys. I have tons of those tips in my story highlights, just kind of telling you guys which products I use, my I guess my hair routine. It's also on here. I'm going to do a video on basically start to finish how I do my hair and what products I use at home. It's all the stuff I sell with you guys, besides Orbe. That stuff I get online. I'm not allowed to sell it just because I'm an independent stylist, but I'll show you guys kind of those products. But leave-in conditioner, I use Formula 18. The heat protectant, I use Kerastase. That's one I also have in my story highlights. If you're interested in what that is, go check it out. I believe it's in the styling one, or products, whichever one. And then an oil, I also use the Formula 18 oil. So those are my 3 faves. And then next point is, if you blow dry your extensions, they will wear faster and need to be replaced sooner. Yes, that is 100% true if you do blow dry them, but disclaimer, extensions tangle faster if they are not smoothed out with heat. So it is a double-edged sword. You need to blow dry your extensions because they're not wash and go, but they will need to be replaced more often, especially if you don't have a quality blow dryer. Quality blow dryer is everything, because extension hair needs to be babied. That's just the reality of it. So I will also that's on my content calendar. I will be showing you guys what products I use, what tools I use, and how I actually blow dry my hair. So that'll be coming at you if you're interested in that. So I thought it was better to only wash once a week. Not necessarily. I guess it just depends on your hair texture and how greasy you get. But I do recommend probably not once a week, unless your hair is super, super damaged. But even still then, you probably need like a mask of some sort. So I say 5 days is even pushing it. I say just try to follow the 4 to 5 day rule as much as you possibly can. Okay, for next section is sleeping. Be sure to brush out your hair with a wet brush before going to sleep. Yes, I think if you go to sleep with tangles and you are anything like me, and you sleep like a crazy person, then you'll wake up with some matting. That's never a good thing. So yeah, brush it out. I wear my hair in a low ponytail. A lot of people wear it in braids. You can either do it like this, or you could do it in like super, super loose braids so you can hold curl. Whatever is comfortable for you, to just go the extra mile in making sure your extension hair doesn't tangle. And I also use a silk pillowcase. I'm writing that down right now, actually, because especially fine hair or hair that has been lightened in any way, the cuticle is already kind of standing up a little bit. So if you're using a cotton pillowcase, it causes friction. And when you're rolling around and like sleeping like a crazy person, even if you don't, just rolling around on a cotton pillowcase can cause friction and breakage over time. It's very minimal, obviously, but the more you can do to take care of your hair and take care of your extensions, the better. So I recommend using a silk pillowcase. I ordered one from Amazon. It's like $25. It's great. I love it. Wearing your hair in braids or a low pony. Never go to bed with wet hair. This will create tangles and knots, you will wear through the hair more quickly, resulting in having to repurchase it. This is a must. That's probably one on the sheet that I need to star and circle, because going to bed with wet hair, I literally have done it multiple times, and I wake up and it sometimes can be super cute, especially those of you who have curly or a kind of wavy texture. It can be cute, but I promise you it will make your hair wear so much faster. It creates tangling and matting and dreading, and it's just a messy situation. So you can let it air dry, and then the last 10% of your hair drying, use at least a little bit of smoothing. But never, ever, ever, ever go to bed with your head wet, especially loose and down, and going to bed with it wet. That's just chaos. Don't ever do that. So another tip. Last section is just general tips. So I'm just going to kind of run through these as well. Use only your wet brush to remove tangles. Start from the bottom and work your way up. Be sure to hold the extensions flat to your scalp where they are attached while brushing, so you're not tugging on your scalp. So basically, I hold my hair like this. I pull it all forward, and I hold my hair like this and start from the bottom and work my way up. I never start right here and just rip. You never, ever, ever, ever want to rip your brush through your extensions or your natural hair, because your hair is the most fragile when it's wet. So be extra sweet to your hair when it's wet. That's kind of that tip. Wet brush, also the bath pack brush. I know I've posted about that many, many times. My girlfriend Allie, hair artist Allie, she owns Bath Pack, and the brushes are, I think personally, even better than the wet brush. The bristles are a little bit stiffer, but not too stiff where it causes any damage, and I think the brush lasts longer. So if any of you are interested in ordering a wet brush, you can either, or a bath pack brush, you can either message me or follow Bath Pack on Instagram, and you can place your orders directly through their Instagram. I will post a story tagging their handle so you guys can follow them. Next thing, be sure to brush underneath the wefts as well on top to ensure your hair underneath the rows does not tangle. So those of you who have multiple rows, brushing like in between the wefts is super important. If you have like super tangly hair as is, I know some of my clients have said to me before, like, oh, my hair just tangles, like it's always tangly. And I've seen some of you come into me with like a little bit of matting or dreading. That means you're not brushing well enough. That's not the extensions problem, that's your natural hair dreading because it's not being brushed well enough. So if you feel like that's an issue for you, then pin up your top row, brush all the way up to the weft on your bottom row, and then drop the second row down and brush it again. So you always want to, like, I'm always super sensitive with my hair. I like hold my weft and brush it if I feel like it needs to be brushed at the very top of it. But I don't feel like I ever have that issue. So if any of you do, and that's an issue for you, please message me and I can give you kind of some separate video tips. We can dive deeper into that. Make sure to always use the products recommended by your MBR stylist regularly. This is key because there are many products out there that suck. And even if they say they don't suck, they suck for extension hair. Boheme even has a bunch of recommendations of products, what to use and not to use on their website, and protein is one of the biggest things not to use on extension hair. It causes dreading and tangling over time, and that's one of the next tips I'll be giving. But yeah, always listen to us because we are our own guinea pigs. I use products on myself before I ever recommend them to other clients, so that people aren't using stuff that isn't good for your hair. So I'll always like kind of beta test on myself and make sure that like I'm backing the product 100% and it's super safe for you guys. So try not to venture out of products that I recommend. Otherwise you might regret, having to like ruin your extension hair and have to replace it, because there are some products out there that don't mesh well with the silicone on extension hair. Anyways, next thing, improper care of your extensions can lead to over drying, tangling, matting, which could lead to replacing the hair more frequently. So basically, that's like the disclaimer of all these tips. If you don't follow these tips, your hair will be dry, tangly, brittle, matting, shed faster, wear faster, and you'll have to replace it. And it won't seem like it's worth it to you because MBR is expensive. It is a bougie service and it is not for everyone. And if you're going to invest in yourself in that aspect, definitely go the extra mile in taking care of it so that you are, creating longevity of your investment. That makes sense, right? Two more. Last two. When on vacation, in the pool or the ocean, absolutely always put your hair in a braid. Guys, key of this whole video. Always wear your hair in a braid on vacation. The two things that will ruin extension hair faster than anything on this whole planet: chlorine and salt. So when on vacation, and if you're in the pool or the ocean, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely always put your hair in a braid. Salt is a natural dehydrant. It strips moisture from everything, from meat. It's a conservative type of thing. So naturally, it's going to strip the moisture out of your hair. So if you have extensions and are on vacation in the ocean, do not let it free flow, because I promise you, as soon as you get out of the pool, or maybe over time of the pool or the ocean, it will literally turn into a big giant ball of just like, blah. It's crazy. So trust me on this one. I've seen it many times. Do not try to test me on that because your hair will turn into dreads. So create a barrier with your hair in putting either a leave-in conditioner or an oil over it when you get in the ocean or the pool on vacation. This is a must. The Salt and Chlorine Cream Extension Hair. Spray a leave-in before braiding to ensure your hair does not absorb any said chemicals. So basically, like what I just said, it creates a barrier from those chemicals to keep your hair in good condition. So what I do is when I'm on vacation, literally, I almost always just spray like a leave-in conditioner, put an oil over it, and I'll put it in two braids like this or one big giant braid. And I get into the water, and as soon as I get out of the pool or the ocean, I shower the water out. So I just like either get in the shower or like those outdoor showers that they have at hotels and stuff like that. Rinse out the chemicals. Last tip I'm going to give y'all is do not use any over-the-counter chemicals such as perm solution, permanent or semi-permanent hair colors, or any products not approved by your NBR stylist. So yeah, basically just don't buy drugstore products because that's like putting a bumper sticker on a Bentley. Just don't use shitty product, guys. It's just doesn't make sense if you're going to invest in yourself in how expensive the NBR service is. You might as well use the right products and the right, at-home care routine to ensure that your extension hair is going to last and your investment is worth it. So just trust us on this one. Like I said, I beta test every product. I make sure I recommend the best things for you guys. I'm always talking about new products. I'm a freaking product junkie. If you guys look in my bedroom, I have this like giant basket full of products that I'm trying out. So a lot of the product lines I've mentioned before: Orbe, Kerastase, Goldwell, 3 Butter from Biolage, Formula 18, Kevin Murphy. There's plenty of product lines you can use, and I will give you guys the best ones that will help ensure the softness and healthiness of your extension hair. So I hope that helps you guys. There's tons of information in there. If you guys want to write those down, or I can email you this sheet that you can kind of go over and just kind of remind yourself of the things things to do and not do. I can totally do that, but hopefully you learned something and know that I love y'all, and I just want you guys to have beautiful, amazing, sexy hair. Okay, I realize I'm neglecting some of these questions. I used to put oil on my hair on wet, but I heard a lot of hairdressers say to use oil after you apply heat. Yes, you can put oil on after you apply heat. I actually do both. Always put oil on extension hair wet. Always, always, always. Every time you shower, oil should go first, then leave-in conditioner or heat protectant, either one. And if you feel like your hair's still a little bit dry or frizzy or any of the above, put the oil on after it's dry. I am actually releasing a blog post in a minute about winter hair care, and I say to put on oil every single day, even if it's dry. So obviously if you wash your hair every 4 days, then do a tiny little dime size. So when it's wet, you can do a little bit more. I do a quarter when it's wet, quarter size when it's wet, and a dime size, or even a penny size, little, when it's dry, because you obviously don't want to make it greasier. You just want to smooth the cuticle and make sure that your hair is getting a barrier from the weather elements like the cold and the thin air. So I am releasing that blog post in a minute, so if you guys want to read over it on winter hair care, then check it out, because I kind of give some little tips and tricks on how to make sure your hair doesn't get dry and brittle in the winter. But I have a great tip. I use Olaplex number 3. I put it in a little bottle and add water and spray it on every night. So your extension's awesome. Oh, awesome. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, I love Olaplex. I don't use it personally at home because I use the Formula 18 mask, which is basically the same thing. It is a bond reinforcer, but those are the only 2 products that I have found that work, that have like a protein-based element to help repair. A lot of other protein products can create dreading and matting and tons of issues with extension hair. So if you're wanting something that will help your natural hair and your extension hair stay really soft, then yeah, use Olaplex number 3 or even the shampoo and conditioner, or Formula 18 as well. I use it like once a week or every other week in the winter and in the summer, because the polarizing seasons can create brittleness and damage, and your hair can just break off. So thank you for that tip. That's amazing. I hope you guys have got something from this. I've been talking forever, but yeah, so those are the do's and don'ts of extension hair care. And I have tons of, look at this, you guys, tons of content, literally text and video planned out for the next month. So I got tons of information coming at y'all, and stay tuned. If you don't already, follow my blog, KenzieHairCo.com. I'm putting tons of photo shoot content and lots of tips and tricks and more stuff on there. So yeah, follow me. But thanks for watching, guys. Happy Friday. XOXO.